Value retention claim based on ALG's 2013 Model Year Residual Value Award for mainstream brands. Visit ALG.com for more info. See dealer for financing details.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. We're at Florida. Mostly sunny today and pleasant this afternoon. The high 71 to 75. And tonight will be clear and cool, low 46 and Linda 52 by the water. For tomorrow, more sun than clouds and warmer, high 74 to 78. For Easter Sunday, partly sunny and pleasantly warm, high 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 6th for the Francis Marion Military Academy Spring Fling at the Ocala Shrine Club on Maricamp Road. Join the first annual Swamp Fox Chili Cook-Off and Classic Car Show. Take a chance on winning one of 5 different late model vehicles for the unbelievably low price of just $20 per ticket. Only 5,000 tickets will be sold. The proceeds benefit the Francis Marion Military Academy. Businesses, organizations, and talented individuals are invited to show off their cooking skills and to compete for the best tasting chili. Go to swampfoxevents.com for the registration directions to the Shrine Club, Car Show, Chili Cook-Off. Join our sponsors in supporting the Academy. Remember, that's Saturday, April 6th for the Francis Marion Military Academy Spring Fling at the Ocala Shrine Club on Maricamp Road. The first annual Swamp Fox Chili Cook-Off and Classic Car Show. For more information, call Charlie at 843-7790. That's 843-7790. 843-7790. Or visit swampfoxevents.com.
All right, thank you very much. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock, at least on the East Coast. I was just talking to our guest off the air, Mari Collier. I've been calling her Marie all morning long. And she's out in Southern California in the desert, I think, is what she said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think the whole area of that part of the country is desert, right? Mari is on the air with us to talk about her book called Earthbound. But look at this as her credentials. She worked at Nintendo as a game player.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. She's an email communicator, which, you know what? So am I. I'm going to put this on my business card. She's a game writer and historian, a gardener, a traveler, and her book is called Earthbound, a science fiction adventure novel. I love what it says in her little bio. I'm just going to read the first line. It says, "Welcome to the ramblings of a slightly skewed brain." And I think she wrote that herself. Mari Collier, it's an honor to have you on with us. Good morning.
Well, thank you, Larry, so very much, and you too, Robin. Appreciate it.
Thank you for
By
getting...
the way, I do not write games, no way. And I was a gameplay counselor, but it wasn't the only thing I did though.
Oh, okay, okay. How long ago was that? Were you playing games?
12 years ago.
And did you enjoy that job?
That was the most wonderful job I have ever had in my life.
So, what would we know the games? Are we familiar with some of the titles?
Oh. Yes, if you played any of the Mario, the Donkey Kong.
Okay, so you were one of the first people. So why did you play them? So that the Nintendo would get some feedback?
Oh, well, they made sure. See, I was in what they called their center for people calling in.
Okay. Oh, you were the helper.
Yeah. And so I was able to help set people up. When they got the machine and they didn't know how to put it on the television and bring it up to where they could see it. That was one of those people. I could help you do repairs. I could do all sorts of things.
I might have called you to ask you how to kill that big red crab. I remember there was there was a big red crab that just drove me nuts. I can't remember what game that was in.
My son called a lot too because he would play the games and then he would ask if he could call. I'd say sure, so he'd go and call and then he'd finish the game. So that was a valuable service you did. This is great.
All right, Mary, let's be fair to your book. We haven't even the whole purpose of being on the air is to talk about your book.
To talk about Earthbound, yes.
Now, this is a prequel to another book you wrote, right?
Yes, To Gather the Children.
Gather the Children. Okay. So give us a thumbnail sketch of the storyline in this book, or should we hear that one first?
No, you hear this one first.
Okay. Here, Earthbound. What is the storyline?
Okay. There's been a galactic war. There's the Thalians and the Britons lost. The Justines won. They have their decrees. They think they're superior beings. They know they're superior beings. They've driven one group out of that part of the galaxy. But anyway, they discover that they're somehow, some way, the one Thalian, there is a mixture of both Justine and Thalian, and he is sentenced to isolation, and then when he's old enough, they're going to maroon him on a habitable planet. Things go awry when they're going looking for a different Justine, who's been on Earth for a few hundred years. And, of course, a bit progeny from that, that's another story. But anyway, instead of them isolating this person on this planet, the people of Earth seem to be a bit vicious, and the Justine cannot control him with his mind, and they kill him. McDonald, the name he takes on Earth, winds up with the spaceship, hides it in the one area where there are no earthquakes, which is Texas, because most places on Earth, one way or another, they've had an earthquake, like it or not.
Really? I didn't know that. So, and that's a factual thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So they hide it in Texas. So you're giving us a clue. If there are any hidden alien ships, it's in Texas.
Right. Those early tales of the space places in two different places in Texas, there may be more truth to them than what people know.
So there are somewhere out in the universe. They're talking about their wrecked spaceship, and they're singing a song. All my wrecks are in.
Yeah.
No, never mind. I was just trying to make a joke.
And so the basis of the story is he survives. He has a friendship with a fur trapper. Fur trapping ends. They go into something else. The woman that's involved in this, she doesn't realize it, but she knows there's something really strange about the man she's married. She and her family are immigrants from the early influx of Germans in the 1839. They came over, right before that, came over from Germany because they were not satisfied with the way things were going in the church.
Oh, okay.
And then they settled in St. Louis. But this man she's married, she knows he can control people with his mind. Tried to go into her mind, but like many people on Earth, she won't let the Justines in. And anyway, he takes them back to Texas because he has land there. It's one of the places where he hid the scout. But the Comanche attack. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, Anna is a tall woman and a stubborn German.
So you've interwoven your understanding of our history and intertwine that with some science fiction.
Right.
Oh, wow, that's very cool. You know what's cool about discovering an author late in the game is that we get to read the prequel first.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
We can read them in order.
Yes, yeah. Well, I really didn't want to write. I started writing this when I was about 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
And the chapter where Anna fights off the Comanche, she dies. Only Anna wouldn't stay dead. She wanted her children back.
Oh.
And until I could write the whole story with Anna in it, it wouldn't go down right.
That would make sense, yeah. Oh, wow. Well, that's awesome. So that was kind of what was perplexing you ever since the first book, right?
Yeah, well, no, the first book, she's in it, but that was since I was 11 years... Well, one of the things is my brother laughed his head off that his little baby sister could possibly write a chapter where everybody dies in it, you know.
Yeah, right. Well, that's one of the most wonderful things about your writing is that if we were back in that time period, that is something that might actually happen. I mean, you make the reader feel like you're actually a part of this world and that it is real.
Oh, thank you. But it really was real.
Yeah.
there are stories out there that people who believe that everybody walking this planet is not all a descendant of Adam and Eve. In other words, some come.
Oh, well, yes, I know there are, but that wasn't necessarily what my thing on there.
It's extremely interesting. You have a character there of German descent, and that you bring up religion. Because of the
people of
suppression.
that era were very religious, and to say that they weren't denies what was happening in this country.
That's a good point, and a lot of people don't want to recognize that for some reason.
I don't know why.
I mean, maybe they don't embrace religion, but they can't deny the fact that religion is embraced by people, and that causes them sometimes to seek out new homes.
Yes, and that was really the reason they came over here, was they had a quarrel with the way that the German government decreed that the Lutheran Church no longer could have the bar up like the Catholic Church, in that you either believed this was the sacrament was a true body and blood of Christ or not. They didn't have to believe that, so anybody could go up to the sacrament. There was a whole group of Germans that came over and they settled in St. Louis, Missouri.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. Wow. So, so as we read the book, I guess we learn some history as well.
Yes, well, I didn't go into that part, other than that Anna and her twin brother, are Lutheran, and I give the correct word for the Synod as what it is then, and what it is now is totally, it's somewhat the similar name, but
so, Mary, do you have other books that are purely historical?
No. It is all this family. It is the descendants of Anna and MacDonald and the Justine that landed here before. And the third book is called Before We Leave, and it's from 1869 until 1849 when they do leave Earth.
Do you share your writings for your books with family and friends before you complete them, or do you keep them close to the vest?
I don't keep them close to the vest. I belong to the Desert Writers Guild of 29 Palms, and they're very helpful. I also belong to, it's called the Literary Society. It was started over at Copper Mountain College. We're no longer there because the professor that started it is retired, but he's still part of it, and I share it with them.
All right, this one is called Earthbound. I have a copy of Mari Collier's book. I would like to give it away, and it's actually signed by Mary, so you will get a, what do you call it when an author signs a book, Robin?
Inscribed.
An inscribed copy.
Yes,
it is yours if you call me to ask for it. The rest of us have to go buy it. Mary, do you have a website, and is the book on Amazon, etc.?
Yes, it's on Amazon. I do have a website. It's Mari Collier, MariCollier.
Okay, MariCollier.com, and Mary does spell her name M-A-R-I, which is why I was calling her Marie all morning long. And of course, go to Amazon, and it says in my notes here that it's also available in Kindle. And I'm guessing it's in all the bookstores. Mary, thank you for getting up early. Where are you in California exactly? I know you told me, but I forget.
Okay, do you know where where Palm Springs is?
Oh, Palm Springs. Okay.
We're north of that about 75 miles. We're up in the mountains sort of area.
Oh, and it's
called the Morongo Basin.
And it's mountainous, but it's also desert.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's a high desert. The Marine base is here.
Oh my.
Oh, okay. And how did you end up there?
My daughter worked for the Marine base.
Oh,
and
well, that makes sense.
I loved the desert, and I had spent 25 miserable years in northwestern Washington.
Oh, that's right.
So now so you went from very rainy to very dry.
Yes, on purpose.
On purpose, yeah. Mary, thank you so much for being on the air, getting up early, and good luck with all you're doing, and come back.
Well, thank you so very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Great interview. Bye. We'll take a little break and be right back.
In citrus industry news on Southeast AgNet, the Citrus Research and Development Foundation's Harold Browning discusses the risk growers take by continuing to plant on currently available rootstocks in the face of HLV versus their risk in planting new, potentially